Welcome to Twinin'It. I'm your host, Craig Noble, documentary filmmaker and moto enthusiast. This is the show about everything you can do to and with the Honda Africa Twin adventure sports. And today, we're riding up Furry Creek. Furry Creek is in between West Van and Squamish. And we have a crew, and it should be a good time. Do a little reinflation now that we're back on the pavement.
Let's put a whole bunch in and then we'll check the gauge after.
That's time. Whoa, that's too much. Okay, here we go, bud. Well, this has been very exciting so far. Furry Creek, and put some damage on Africa, up through Whistler and Pemberton, over the High Line to Seton Lake. Had a beautiful camp spot there. Went over Mission Pass, down Carpenter Lake, and now I'm in Bralorne, which is very beautiful. It's a gold mining town, I'm going to assume. And buddy Roger at the side of the road said I should come up here to get the money drone shot, which I just did. And now is the point of this loop where I'm going to head back towards Pemberton, and then Whistler, meet Chris, and then we're going to drive back to Van tonight before the holiday Monday madness begins. So there's still some riding to be done. And back to House Sound. What an amazing weekend, especially that last ride from Bralorne to Lillooet, Duffy Lake Road to Whistler, Squamish, now Portal Cove. Fantastic ride. And there will be more. So stay tuned for another episode of Twinin'It. Okay. Bike is back in the garage, a little Twinin'It Addendum. That was a rough weekend on the bike, and it's time to take stock of all the damage that occurred and to fix it to get it ready for its next ride. Well, my least favorite damage is the light on the left-hand side of the bike. That just cracked, and basically it's being held together for the last half of that ride with tuck tape. Well, unfortunately, the top box on the Furry Creek ride took the beat. There's nothing I can do about that. True to form and function, the bark busters, both of them, both have bark in them. And I'm going to clean those up and tighten them down. Okay, well, we got some love taps here from the crash bars hitting the fairing. And unfortunately, I think we lost some paint. Well, the lower bars did their job this weekend. That could have been nasty and quite disastrous. Also some love taps down here on the right hand side of the skid plate. No big deal. The lower bar is doing their jobs. I'm glad I put those on. Also on the left side here, some love taps from the crash bars, but you know, without the crash bars, that could have been not so good. And some nice little dents on the gas tank. Hopefully that's just dirt, but that's not good. And the mirrors. Those are gonna need some attention as well. But yeah, I'm just gonna tighten everything down, make sure everything's cool, make sure I'm not missing any bolts, and get the bike back up to par. Okay, well that was short and painless. The only real change that I made was to take off the rubber pads off the foot pegs. Did that on both sides. I found that I was slipping a little bit, especially when it started raining or, you know, jumping through puddles or whatever. So for safety, you know, better grip, you know, is really for the city. And then there's the bolts back here, which I will show you. All right, while I was working my way around the bike, I found that I'm missing a bolt for the rear assembly. It's an aftermarket part for the GV box. It came loose. This bolt was kind of loose too, so I tightened that down. And as is, it's okay. It certainly wouldn't take any hits, but I'm gonna have to get a replacement bolt and spacers for that piece. And there we have it, nice and tight, not too dirty, and you know, I could definitely ride this on the road right now, replace that bolt, and should be good to go for our next weekend.